Hello and welcome everybody once again to the second series of the day of the Battle of Central Europe Season 3, brought to you by the awesome Steel series, Hitbox, eBattle, Vinotech, GoSoGamers.net, DailyDota2.com, esportsbets.com, and of course us, HeflaTV as well, the English coverage for you. It's going to be Aftershock Gaming versus mYinsanity in this 2-game series. Yesterday, when those two teams met, Aftershock took a 2-0 victory, and overall Aftershock, they are number 1 at the moment. They just came off a 1-game victory against Denial. Game number 2 will be played later, but being able to win versus Denial yesterday, also 2-0 versus Power Rangers, for example, just really impressive team, to be honest. But we'll see how well they can fare. mYinsanity already looking better than in day 1, so maybe they can overtake Aftershock as well. But I'm not alone here. I'm gonna be joined by Grindis3, man. Do you think mYinsanity, with the last victory they got versus Power Rangers, have enough momentum to just take it forward?
There's a chance, but yesterday just wasn't mYinsanity's day. Losing every single one of their games, they couldn't find any momentum, and Aftershock were the exact opposite, so they're still the underdogs. But I think they can look for a Game 1 victory, or at least one game of victory, and potentially take it out 1-1.
Overall, I mean, Aftershock, I had seen the name and I have casted Aftershock, but that was like ages ago for like maybe Join Dota League Season 2, something like that I think. Plus, I'm almost positive that they had a completely different lineup at the time. They of course came from the qualifiers as well. I didn't know what to expect from them at all, but their team play, their reaction to enemy ganks and everything, just people TPing in, it's really just at a high level, to be honest. And that's why I love tournaments as these, where it's a rather long format and there are invited teams plus qualified teams. So just newer teams also get a chance to kind of make a name for themselves.
Yeah, and even though Aftershock isn't necessarily a new team, they are looking really good at the moment. And yeah, it's impressive to watch them come back after just not being really in the scene. For now, this game is going to start out with the Razor first pick coming up from Aftershock. The bans being Batrider, Viper, Jakira, and Brewmaster taken out of the pool. No big surprises as of yet, but we have some pretty big name heroes. Death Prophet, again, has been ignored in the bans as well as in the first 2 picks. Skyrath Mage is going to be the opening for mYinsanity.
If they don't go for the Death Prophet now and Aftershock choose to go for like Razor safe lane and Death Prophet mid lane and just go for Aghanim Scepter on Razor, that's going to be a crazy amount of push, and it's never going to be easy to stop a Death Prophet. I do believe Aftershock just now against Denial also used the Death Prophet. I think I'm all correct with this, but Death Prophets all in all just tend to win games. mYinsanity, or rather Power Rangers, we also saw a Death Prophet in the last series, right?
Yeah, we did, and it was in the last pick as well, but for here it's going to stick into the second picking slot, and I can definitely respect this coming up from mYinsanity. There's no real reason to have the threat of playing up against a Death Prophet, and having it on your team is more often than not a good thing. As Death Prophet, she hardly ever is useless. Exorcism is always a really nice spell to have, and it's pretty hard to shut down as well, especially since your building are generally pretty tanky.
I don't know the exact stats for this tournament, but from my memory, I've seen Death Prophet at least 3 times. Well, that's over the past 2 days, to be honest, only. But has won every single game. Aftershock, though, going for an Ancient Apparition. If the Ice Blast is there when the Death Prophet's Exorcism expires, you're not going to get the heal from it, so it can help out. But all in all, Ice Blast is just an annoying thing to go up against, especially if it should be Aghanim's buffed. And, well, we'll see how well it works for Aftershock. I know that Razor is definitely one of their favorite heroes. They just go for it, well, with them first picking it, it must be a high priority for them. Now though, Legion Commander banned from Aftershock, Slark taken out by mYinsanity. I guess it's just core bans all around.
Yeah, it seems to be. Razor is probably not going to go for a mechanism in this game, but even if he does, I don't know. It just seems to be fallen out of favor, as Razor's mana pool is just a little too limited in order to really pull it off. There's still plenty of supports left in the pool, and Ogre is available, so mYinsanity, I'd like to see them pick it up. Despite Death Prophet not benefiting heavily from the Bloodlust, it's still not a bad thing to have, and more than anything, just that extra nuking power. But they are going to go for the Elder Titan, and already a decent amount of magic amplification, magic damage, as well as physical damage from Death Prophet that does a very scary amount of HP, or removes a scary amount of HP. When you have that Elder Titan natural order aura to work with, it's a decent choice, and Elder Titan's definitely been in the limelight as of late, so I can respect the choice.
To be honest, I think Aftershock maybe should have even banned it out instead of the Lich, for example. Although Elder Titan and Skyrath Mage, they're not the scariest of support heroes in the laning phase, so that's maybe what Aftershock may take advantage of. And they're going for a Nerve Shaker, a hero that used to be just a go-to support like a month ago, maybe even less. Has almost completely fallen off, at least for the games I've casted, so maybe Earthshaker is just a little bit more popular in maybe higher tier Dota still, or maybe lower tier, I'm not too sure, but Earthshaker, Ancient Apparition combination is a strong one. I mean, just the poke from just a Fissure into Ice Blast already might be enough to either kill some squishy supports or just make them back off at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, Earthshaker, he's hardly ever a bad choice, and I think that he deserves a little bit more play than we've been seeing. But yeah, it's going to be a nice pickup for Aftershock. Maybe they'd want a little bit more teamfight damage with the Sand King, but once Earthshaker gets his Blink Dagger, although it comes out slower than that, hero is going to be a very scary initiation tool for them. But mYinsanity, they go for a Spectre, and this game, it's going to be really hard for Aftershock to punish it, even with these two supports, Ancient Apparition and Earthshaker. They can set up for some pretty aggressive lanes. Together, they don't really do that unless you throw Mirana on top of it, which is a possibility, but do Aftershock really want to commit that hero up against the Spectre? I don't think so.
Well, they could also go for an aggressive try with the Razor. The one thing the Spectre, of course, will have is just Spectral Dagger and go over the Fissure, because you just can run over everything pretty much. Otherwise, if you block anybody else, gonna be just limitless static link almost for the Razor, and should be easy kills if they do decide to go for it. And maybe wouldn't be the worst idea, because Spectre really isn't good in a tri lane at all, man. Just I've seen so many Spectres just getting shut down so hard because you do not offer anything at all to a tri lane pretty much.
More or less. As far as Aftershock's next pick, they're still lacking 2 cores, and Tidehunter is still available in the pool. I think that would be a good place to start, and then hold onto your mid hero until later on in the draft. It would be pretty safe, and maybe that's not what Aftershock are looking towards, but I think that's just a all-around really good hero in the laning stage, can get levels in pretty much most situations. There's hardly lanes that can completely zone out Tidehunter, and even if they do, he always has the backup plan of going in the jungle, but for now it's going to be a Clockwork for them. Ancient Apparition plus Clockwork is a nice global ganking combination, especially if you can isolate the Skywrath Mage and the Death Prophet. But outside of that, I'm not sure if this really warrants the Clockwork pick. Aftershock are going to be really reliant on getting those early hookshot ganks to work.
I mean, with this, I'm even hoping a little bit more for an aggressive tri lane, just so the Clockwork could be on the safe lane and be in a 1v1 matchup where he could get that guaranteed level 6 and maybe the fast blade mail as well. Otherwise, if he cogs, he might just get caught by the Mystic Flare, or maybe just cogs or hookshots himself into a Death Prophet with Exorcism. You need to have the blade mail to survive. I mean, blade mail is going to be just decent anyway, just because it's bonus armor for you, so you're not going to be zeroed out completely by the Elder Titan, but against Skywrath Mage and Death Prophet both, I think blade mail is a great item to go for. But Clockwork, if he's in the offlane against the tri-lane, probably going to struggle for levels, not going to find the farm at all, and just Clockwork without farm. Yes, the hookshot is still nice, but he can just fall over himself pretty fast with just not having any items to tank up.
Yeah, I don't know. In that sense, I'm not a huge fan of this pickup, but once the level 6s do come out for Aftershock, they're going to be very scary. And although mYinsanity also have some decent ultimates to work with, they're not as immediately threatening. Spectre Haunt, it's nice to relocate yourself inside into a team fight after you've been farming at the early portions, but it doesn't do that much damage at the early levels with no farm to back it up. And similar for Death Prophet, Exorcism, a very underwhelming ultimate at level 1. I'm not even sure if Elder Titan is going to skill up Earth Splitter at those early levels, as generally you want to prioritize your aura and your astral spirit a little bit more, especially as a support. We'll just have to see. I think Aftershock are going to have a decent window where their level of power is going to be higher than mYinsanity, especially if the early laning stage works out for them.
Yeah, I have to agree with the Elder Titan. I think it's like, if you have excellent lockdown, maybe something like a Dream Coil, you can go for Earth Splitter. But so far, mYinsanity, they don't have actually any proper stuns at all. Just Echo Stomp is all they have, and going for a Venomancer, it is even more true. And this Venomancer, are they going for some form of aggressive tri-lane, or is it just Skywrath Venomancer supporting with Elder Titan offlane then?
Honestly, I don't know. The flavor of the month way to play Elder Titan is to play him as a support, so maybe it is going to be a core Venomancer, which is a decent way to play him, but I expect these to be in our tri-lane and potentially go aggressive. I honestly have no idea how mYinsanity are going to pull off these lanes, and as you've already kind of alluded to, their lockdown is incredibly limited, and I don't think there's anything really stopping Aftershock from going for like a Weaver. I think that would be a really nice pick. If it was available, Ember Spirit would have been the first choice, but that's been banned out by mYinsanity. They could go for pretty much whatever they want. Is just the lack of keeping people in place is going to be very problematic for them. And even the Elder Titan Stomp, it might be useful for canceling some TPs, but just with the amount of AoE damage that they have, it's unlikely that they're going to be snoozing for long. Death Prophet later on can cancel TPs, but for a large portion of this game, that's going to be a reliable way to get out to safety. And Aftershock, I'm not sure at which point they want to peak this game. Let's see.
Oh, we're gonna find out soon enough what hero they want to go for. I mean, Storm Spirit, Weaver you already mentioned, but they're going for a Necrophos instead. It's not a bad hero to combat the likes of Spectre, maybe even a Death Prophet for that matter. Death Prophet usually likes to go for Heart of the Rest, tank up. Spectre, kind of the same, just wants to tank up as much as he can because Dispersion, the more health you have, the more Dispersion will do as well before you actually die yourself. But Necrophos, or with Necrophos, you only need to be down to for about half HP, then the Reaper Scythe comes out, at least max level Reaper Scythe with Aghanims. 1.2 times the health missing. So it's nice against tanky heroes in that sense. And with Ice Blast, Necrophos just, with the Heartstopper Aura as well, people just keep on ticking lower and lower. It might work out. I mean, might be a little bit of a greedy pick though, and we'll see where he's even going to lane himself, whether it's going to be mid lane or just try lane Necrophos safe.
I think it's just going to be a safe lane farming Necrophos, but with his loadout, maybe it is actually mid. He starts out with no Talisman as well as one salve, so Mind Control might just be soloing mid lane, and it looks like that's going to be the case. I also kind of like this Necrophos pickup because mYinsanity are fairly limited when it comes to their sustained damage in the team fights, and at a certain point, Skywrath Mage, ulti, as well as Exorcism isn't going to immediately kill the Necrophos, and the rest of their team does some nice does some nice dot damage, but it doesn't do enough burst to kill off Necrophos in one go. If Mind Control gets a lot of farm this game, he could be incredibly scary, and he's going to be playing in that Necrophos, supported by Urshiker, played by Zeroji, Ancient Apparition by Patka, and Razor will be handled by Jalopy, leaving last but not least on the Aftershock side, Kefka on the Clockwork.
And for mYinsanity, Milan heading towards the offlane on the Elder Titan, supported by Lizard on the Venomancer, or might be a core Venomancer with the itemization. Usually I think Lizard playing the supports, whereas Milan on the core, but we shall see this time around. Grisine playing the Death Prophet, with the last two being Hatawa on the Skywrath Mage, and Mitch on the Spectre. And if this is a dual lane, and Aftershock are actually playing a Clockwork, never mind, it's a Razor tri-lane after all, sending the Clockwork safe lane. So this tri-lane from Aftershock should be pretty strong against what mYinsanity has to just try to counter that.
Yeah. I don't know. Lizard is going to be tied up with the Elder Titan, so Clockwork's not going to have a good time, but yeah, as he said, Aftershock should have a decent offensive tri-lane up against Mitch, and Spectre shouldn't be able to get much of anything, if anything at all, out of this lane. Razor alone can handle the Spectre pretty effectively, and once a static link comes out, Spectre's chances of CSing in this lane are all but over. Spectre already a fairly low base damage hero, and now hitting for literally 1 damage after a full duration link.
Oh, sad life. And Jalopy, he started at 48 damage, so he stole 49 as well. That's a crazy amount. Top lane Kefka is just staying at a safe distance. Overall, solo Venomancer would be able to handle solo Clockwork rather easily as well, I think. Just right click him down with the Poison Sting and everything. But now Milan wants to come in from behind, goes in for a few punches but can't really do much anything else. Kefka started with a Battery Assault as well, but hits level 2 now, so he has the cogs. So he should be fine. I mean, don't think mYinsanity can kill him. Even if they get the Venomous Scale, they're just gonna lack the damage early on.
Yeah, I don't think Clockwork's gonna die, but it's not gonna be a fun lane for him either. He gets his level 2 pretty easily, but once we get like level 3 or so from the Venomancer with some points and Poison Sting on top of it, and Elder Titan gets a little bit more, Clockwork's going to be more or less completely zoned out. He'll be able to see a little bit of experience here and there, but Kefka getting an early level 6, although usually in a safe lane, Clockwork versus an offlaner happens, it's not going to be the case this game. Grisine drops pretty low in mid to a couple of death pulses being thrown out by the Necrophos, but with the salve, we'll be able to remedy that, and the action is going to be isolated in bottom, but as we kind of talked about in the draft, Spectral Dagger is going to keep Mitch safe as he walks over the Fissure.
And Jalopy takes quite a lot of damage just due to the fact as well. He needed only like 2 more right clicks, I think, with the damage he stole. Milano gets a haste rune, maybe can set something up, although he's only level 1. With a nice Astral Spirit return with the extra damage, might have enough, maybe go for a courier snipe as well. Courier Snipe, it might be. Haste Rune, I think it might even last long enough for the Courier to come in range. Oh god, if they get this bottle down, it's going to be huge in terms of just being able to win or manage the mid lane for the Death Prophet. Because so far, Mind Control is doubling his last hits.
Oh, Milan. He walks off way too quickly, and he could have gotten that career easily, but he decides to think about going for Mind Control instead. He drops the Spirit, and now with Ottawa, they might be able to get this first blood under the Necrovos, but he'll be able to heal up. Under his tower has a salve, as well as the bottle delivered to himself on the courier, so yeah, that's going to be completely fine for Mind Control. Walking courier all the way back to base, that could have been a really huge play by mYinsanity, but Milan doesn't make it happen. He just, I don't know, is a little hesitant about waiting there.
If he had gotten the courier down, it would have been also a first blood on Mind Control, because those bottle charges saved him at the moment. Those arcane bolts otherwise would have brought him down for sure, I think. So, no first blood, no courier snipe, no nothing. Looking at the last hits as well, Aftershock, they're winning on all 3 lanes. Kefla though, he's gonna get the power cogs and just TP out, just in case Echo Stomp will stop the TP though. Oh god, Milan, just getting to level 2, saving him. Battery Assault, a little bit too late from Kefka, should have activated it before the TP. Still gonna escape, dropping pretty low to the poison, but Lizard a little bit too low in levels. But Kefka, he was a little bit careless with that. I mean, if you're TPing home anyway, you might as well use the mana and use the Battery Assault so that the Echo Stomp won't come.
Yeah, Clockwork is going to survive, however, so as of yet, no first blood has been drawn out. And as you said, the CS on the Dire side is just looking so much better. I wasn't expecting Clockwork to farm as well as he is up in the top lane, but currently tied neck and neck, 13 and 13 on both of their CS scores. And mid lane going well for Aftershock, and bottom lane, as expected, is completely shut down. mYinsanity can't get anything out of it. This Spectre has 4 CS at 4 minutes, and it's just not a happy time, especially when you compare it to Razor getting almost absolute free farm.
And of course getting the denies as well, especially the siege creeps, they hurt the most. Top lane though, Kefka now, at least is level 4. Thank god for Kefka to know that Venomancer pretty low on mana, and he's not gonna get too much mana either just because he keeps on spamming those Plague Wards. And Kefka, not only is he happy that there won't be a Venomous Gale, he's also getting Magic Stick charges for every Plague Ward that's just popped down. So Kefka should be rather fine on the top lane. Might not get the most last hits just because, well, he's gonna have to last it under the tower and be up against a Venomancer. But he's perfectly fine with just getting the XP and a moderate amount of last hits.
Yeah, this status quo is very much favoring Aftershock. And the Elder Titan, he does have his level 2 now, working towards his level 3. But as a support, he's not going to come online for quite a while. Link down in bottom is going to steal a decent sum of damage from the Spectre. It's only 1 pulse, which is 14, but that almost makes it impossible for Mitch to get CS over Jalopy.
Oh.
Over on the side, Concussive Shot, you're going to try to slow us down, but a Fissure and 1 more auto tech with Chilling Touch is going to be the end of Scarth Mage's life, and first blood drawn by Aftershock.
So it's even better for them now. And looking at the mid lane, Mind Control 29 and 10 compared to a 13 and 4. I'm not an expert on mid lane all in all, and even less so with Necrophos versus Grisine. And Grisine might be in trouble. Seroichi waiting with the Fissure. There it is. He can still run into the trees, which is exactly what he's gonna do. With the Fissure being a little bit farther, they still might get the kill. Mind Control going pretty deep. He has the Reaper Scythe. He's gonna use it, and that's gonna be 50-second respawn timer.
Mind Control's build, actually, in mid lane, I didn't notice it. Stomp from the Elder Titan obliterates the Ancient Apparition, now bashes down Mind Control. Oh, you scratch all of that about Elder Titan not being able to do anything. He just found himself 2 levels and 2 kills. But yeah, I was about to talk about Necrophos' build. He's maxing out Heartstopper, and I really don't like this choice. If he had, like, 2 points up in the status, that kill wouldn't have happened.
A little bit sad, of course, and them running for the rune straight away. Wanted to get that 6-minute rune to bottle up, get it just free region, more or less. And really perfect positioning from the Elder Titan, catching them off guard completely with the Echo Stomp, landing onto both, and then that 1 smack as well. Without him, it would have been an epic disaster. Aftershock just getting such a huge lead, but suddenly he's level 5, getting points into natural order, makes it really easier to get kills on any single lane for them if the Elder Titan is around. So thank god, Paddy gets it. Oh, somebody alt-tabbed into Windows or something, I don't know. Or maybe Windows Update. But Patka runs into Hatawa. Hatawa has the illusions as well, although he's 2 levels below the Ancient Apparition. So, nice rotation from Elder Titan, but doesn't really change the fact that they are almost losing every single lane anyway.
Yeah, even with that kill, it's not going to benefit the Death Prophet since she died previously, so Death Prophet's still going to handily lose this lane. And even though Necrophos' lane or build isn't that great as far as scaling into the later portions of the game until you get all of your spells maxed out, This laning stage is just so annoying for the Death Prophet. Maxed out Sadist, it's infuriating. Or not Sadist, but rather the Heartstopper Aurora. It's ridiculous.
Man, Heartstopper Aurora maxing it out. I guess they're kind of planning to maybe go for the maxed out Heartstopper Aurora with the Ice Blast and start fighting really early on, where mYinsanity, they won't have a pipe, they won't have anything to just counter that amount of damage coming out, just damage over time. But it's not going to be even the longest damage over time, really, for that matter. And Clockwork, he's level 6, has the hookshot, isn't carrying a TP, but a chainmail is flying out to him. So most likely will be just that straight off blade mail, I think. There's a small chance that he's going for a mech or buckler into Crimson Scar, but I think blade mail would be the best choice for him.
Yeah, I think so as well. And everybody should consider getting some sort of armor item. Necrophos, I think this game should be the mech carrier for Aftershock, although it's not the most common build as far as the normal builds we're used to seeing on pro Necrophoses. I think this game it would get a lot of usage up against mYinsanity. Just with that 250 burst heal and the extra armor on him as well as the rest of the team would get a lot of...
Well,
I'm not sure. Let's see.
It wouldn't be bad for sure. I mean, mana-wise, it would hurt him a little bit, especially since he didn't go for Sadist at all so far. So maybe the mech would be a little bit too taxing for him. Although having a mech on your team is always a nice thing to have, to be honest, I think. But top lane Lizard, he's gonna just pressure down the tower, of course. Clockwork can't do much of anything. He was trying to go ganking as well, but this Observer Ward did spot him out from before. And this is just gonna be a tier 1 down. The Plague Wards, my god, there are so many of them.
Kefka now smoked up. Potentially we'll find an opening on mid, but Death Prophet's nowhere close. Grizzine just farming up some jungle stacks, which is something Death Prophet can do. It's not the fastest of jungle farms, but just with Crypt Swarm spam, it happens. Venomancer, left in a 1v0 lane or a 2v0 lane even with the Elder Titan support, will take down the tier 1 tower, and Lizard's having a grand time on the side of mYinsanity, especially once that Clockwork left. He's really the only one that's doing as expected, or at least doing well in this game. Mitch is finding a little bit more CS under tower now as his phase boots, but it's nothing really compared to the Razor. And speaking of him, they're going to bump into the poor Scarth Mage inside the jungle. They just need one more auto attack, and the Ancient Apparition will secure that kill.
And mid lane, they're going to get Grizzine as well. Another Reaper Scythe gets the kill. Hookshot with the Fisher. Easy Reaper Scythe to follow. So suddenly they get 2 kills. Scarth Mage, nice to kill a support always. Getting some extra levels. Bottom lane, Mitch might die as well. Yes, Jalopy gets it with 1 right click as well as the Plasma Field. And now TPing out from Hot Tower as well. So they get 3 kills, 2 of them on course. Milan might be in trouble. Seroji has the Fisher, doesn't throw it out immediately though. So Milan makes it out at least, but really great 3 kills. And Patka, he's only half a level away from getting that Ice Blast ready.
Yeah, which is really scary. This is good leveling coming out from both of the sports. Earthshaker only level 4, but he's pretty much a walking fissure, and he has that spell available. Elder Titan, 2 points up in the aura, 2 points up in the spirit, is going to be offering a little bit of damage amplification for his team, but the immediate impact for Aftershock supports is just so much greater. And down in bottom, they might look for some aggressive move onto Mitch, but he's pretty darn fast with those phase boots as well as the Spectral Dagger movement speed. Still loses 84 of his damage, and Razor hitting like a truck now, they can't initiate.
God, this Razor all in all, number 1 in net worth as well. Drum's going to be finished in about 40 gold. So they're getting the farm on the course that they need. I mean, Clockwork, yes, doesn't have all that much, but he needs his hookshot and maybe Blade Mail, and he's going to be good for the mid game at the very least. Especially since Sky of Mage, he is nowhere near getting his Mystic Flare ready. He's level 3.5. Unless he participates in a couple of fights and actually survives them when the enemy is just dying, he's not going to get that level 6 anytime soon. Maybe somebody's going to clear up the creep camps for him and he's going to be around. With the Astral Spirit as well as just Crypt Swarms, they should be able to clean them up rather fast. But just Sky of Mage, it is a hero that used to at least have such a huge impact on the early game. Just go around, roam around, get the kills, get the fast level 6, and then with the Mystic Flare have even more impact. But in this game at least, just not seeing any signs of it.
Yeah, Scarth Mage, she's still going to offer a decent amount of control. Like most of their CC, it's just the silence coming up from the Scarth Mage. That damage amplification is going to be nice, but individually his impact is going to be very heavily limited. Kefka, spotted out by some Venomancer Plague Wards, is going to be forced off of the high ground, and still we have yet to see a successful hookshot gank from the Clockwork.
Oh, he managed one on the Death Prophet from before, but this time around, the hookshot was just so damn close. It almost hit Lizard as well, but he got barely away. Milan, wow, he dropped so low to like 1 or 2 right clicks and just... okay, 112 damage stolen, so that was the reason. Plasma Field was only level 2, but he still just dropped extremely low.
Yeah. I believe that was like the Scythe kill and the Death Prophet in mid previously. But yeah, so this Clockwork, even though he had a good laning phase, hasn't been able to transition that very effectively. He is going to be straight up rushing the Blade Mail, but down in bottom is Smoke from Aftershock. They're looking for a wraparound under tower, and they found Mitch. Even though the Fissure blocks him on the left side of the Fissure, it actually doesn't matter. Reaper Scythe will secure that kill. That's Spectre down for the greater portion of a minute. No farming for you, and just a lot more gold into Aftershock's pockets. This Spectre, her build's going to be delayed so significantly. Damage stolen by the Elder Titan. It actually doesn't steal anything, but it's going to be a tier 1 tower going their way.
They're just getting so much out of this early game, and of course going for an aggressive tri-lane against a dual lane with a Spectre. Even a tri-lane with a Spectre isn't all that strong, so make it into a dual lane even worse. I think it's gotten like a decent amount of last hits as it is 26 compared to a 33 on Clockwork, so not like doing absolutely horrible, but nowhere near fight ready at all. Going for a magic one now as well. No urn, no nothing even built for him. Sometimes you see Spectres just going for the early urn, starting to gank with the haunt. So far no haunts, just because their entire team is not in a position to just fight.
Yeah, I really hope Spectre doesn't go for that build. I don't think it's going to get enough usage. Maybe go for a casual Bracer for any bit of HP, but if Spectre doesn't build in some big ticket items, her impact's going to be little to nothing this game, and that's very problematic for mYinsanity. They needed the Spectre to at least be even with the enemy cores, and currently that's not the case. She has about the same net worth as the enemy Ancient Apparition.
That's just absolutely horrible. And speaking of Ancient Apparition, level 7.5 already as well. 1.3k in the bank. Probably gonna go for that Aghanim Scepter. Might want to try to go for a 4-step just in case to like help Clockwork escape from his own cogs, something like that. But Aghanim Scepter rush on Ancient Apparition is just so damn strong, and looks like this game Earthshaker might be the one who's just in the 5 position. But
yeah,
man, this game, Aftershock, although they are ahead, they're not going too aggressive just because they really don't have a massive need to do so. Kefka gonna finish up the Blade Mail now, so maybe that was what they were waiting for. But they don't really want to give too much time to Spectre because he's solo up against an Earthshaker at the moment, so he's gonna be catching up at some point, unless there's the Ice Blast flying. They're waiting, there's the Fissure as well, Ice Blast will hit, and there's gonna be a Reaper Scythe Mitch once again. Oh man, Mind Control, he's gotten like, what, 4 Reaper Scythe kills already now?
Yeah, and that's insane. That extra 30 seconds dead is 30 seconds that Spectre is not able to find anything 0, 3, and 0. Even if Spectre was CSing well, which is also not the case, only 30 at this point in the game, it's just not a pretty picture. They have a Venomancer with Mechanism, but what is this item actually going to do? Maybe it'll save them from something, but if an Ancient Apparition Ice Blast hits, that item's almost completely negated, and this Mechanism, although usually it's an item thought of to help push down the towers, they don't have many other heroes that can really contribute much. They have a Death Prophet with some decent levels in farm, but it's still not enough. They need so much more on mYinsanity's side. And Aftershock, everybody has what they need, and exactly that.
And looks like Aftershock, they want to go for Milan as well. Kefka's hookshot is on cooldown because he missed it in the mid lane. Might just Rambo in. Oh god, he's going for it. Rocket Flare even misses Mind Control. He's around as well. Zeroji comes in. There's the cogs, but the Haunt comes in. Fissure as well. Milan, he's gonna go down. Blade Mail, pretty useful, but there's the Echo Slam onto Mitch. He drops extremely low, but they're gonna get Zeroji here. It's only support, so not a big deal, but Mitch getting some XP, getting some gold. Not too bad. Aftershock, I think they took way too aggressive of an approach for this.
Yeah, but now with a blink in from Mind Control, he doesn't have a Scythe, but he's going to kill off that poor Scarlet Mage. Spectral Dagger's going to slow down Mind Control a little bit. But, yeah, if he had another Blink Dagger available, ooh, hook shot from Kefka, going to miss. Spectre makes it back to base, but even after she gets that kill, it doesn't actually mean much. The tier 1 tower in mid's going to be very helpful for mYinsanity, but still not enough to get them back into this game. At this point, I'm not sure what they need to do. They need, I don't know, some way to start fights on their own terms, and the initiation potential coming out from them is just not there. But as for Aftershock, they have a hookshot, and we're going to see that down in bottom. Brazine caught out inside the cogs. It's not going to be enough as an Earth Splitter splits him back, and now Mind Control really low. Will try to turn from the line, gets the last hit, only 1 point in status, so that region's not very impressive. He's blinking forward. He'll find the kill onto the Death Prophet as well, as Mind Control avoids a Crypt Swarm, and Necrophos is completely running the game.
Oh man, this was some pretty great stuff coming out from the Necrophos. Almost managed to even save the Clockwork, and I do believe the Blade Mail was activated when, or was still active rather, when the Earth Splitter connected, so Milan dropped so damn low from that already. And although the Clockwork died, Necrophos, he's just getting the farm, and I think that's the priority for Aftershock anyway. And he's going for a Yule Scepter, which is going to be finished soon enough. Or rather, it's going to be finished right now. So it's going to be even more mobile. And that's, I have to say, an item build I have not seen for Necrophos. I have seen just Blink Crushes into like Rod of Athos, maybe anything like that. But he's just so mobile, has some decent mana regeneration from the Yules. And Ice Blast flying mid lane, Hatawa gets hit. Kefka coming in, Plasma Field doesn't connect though, but the hookshot, this time around it lands. Jelopi, he's on the run already, they have the power cogs, not gonna push Lizard back, maybe even catch him in. There's the static link as well. They're going to kill on Lizard, but the poison might take them down in return. Or Lizard, can they even get the kill up? The mech is there, Kefka gonna die. Razor TP's out just barely though. But in the meantime, Spectre, well, did he get Reaper Scythed? I guess he did.
Yeah, it actually doesn't matter. Necrophos kills off the Spectre, and even though he goes for the max Heartstopper Aura build, now he has 3 points up in the Sadist, and this build is working wonders for mind control. I don't like that he goes for the Yule Scepter, but I don't think that it matters either, since the Necrophos is just so stacked. It doesn't really matter what he builds unless it's something completely throwy, like Rush Divine Rapier, even like a Dagon I think would work wonders for him. But yeah, it's still Aftershock with control over this game, but if they bleed a couple too many heroes, like Kefka dying in mid, maybe if they get picked off, like the Ancient Apparition potentially up top, they could be in a lot of trouble. Elder Titan is going to bump into him, then run straight back. Yeah, so that's actually not going to break out into a fight. Still Aftershock, they're shutting down the Spectre, and Spectre does go for the Urn, which is an okay item when you have a really aggressive team that can look for kills, but now Mind Control blinking onto the Skyrath Mage. He doesn't really need the Scythe, and they won't be forced to use it as the creeps get the last hit. Mind Control still holding onto that cooldown. In fact, it wasn't even available. Doesn't even matter.
I just love how aggressive Necrophos is playing. He's level 14 as well, 18 minutes in. He must be the highest in the game, yes, by 3 levels as well. There's the Fisher onto Christine. They have the Reaper Scythe now. Plasma Field Reaper Scythe, and it's gonna get the kill. 73 seconds on the sidelines. This is just ridiculous. Ice Blast connected on Milan as well. Chelopi is gonna keep on going. He's gonna shatter with one more right click, and there he goes, Chelopi. Not even gonna get punished, or is he? Lizard, he TP'd in, but he dies before anything else even happens. Another TP, Hatawa is there. Can you Mystic Flare Chelopi down? The silence will Mystic Flare Chelopi even runs back into it, just so generous. But they get the kill. Haunt comes in as well, Spectre. Is he gonna arrive? Kefka going for the TP out of the Blade Mail activated, cancels his TP. And so they get 4 kills. They're gonna get the tier 2. 18-5 the kill score. Aftershock, they are just taking over this game by storm.
Yeah, honestly, I don't see a clear way back into it for mYinsanity. They TP'd in like one after another, just feeding away their lives to Aftershock, and with the Death Pulse spam, they're able to keep out really nice amounts of HP, and Razor goes back for a mechanism. Even though it's not a late mechanism by any means, he's already finished Drums, Point Booster, Aquila. He's, I don't know, gone for a really roundabout Razor build. I like this choice, though, for them, as Aftershock, the aggressive style of play that they're going for, is going to mean that these little mid-game items have such a larger impact than we're used to seeing.
Yeah, and just him going for the drums and the point booster first means that he actually has enough mana as well to use the mech, as well as all of his spells multiple times. So it's not that bad, like you mentioned, it's not that late of a mech. He gets the tower down, no deny there, he gets silence now, hookshot into the creeps, they're going to go for Hatawa, he gets the Mystic Flare off, there's Lizard, Poison Nova as well, but they're still losing heroes. Echo Slam lands onto Seroji, drops low, as does Lizard, another Reaper Scythe, so it's a 3-4-2 just because the Poison is just bringing everybody low. Kefka, he's on the run as well. Is he going to survive this? Yes, he is. But a 3-4-2 isn't all that bad for mYinsanity at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a lot better than I expected them, mostly because they got the Venomancer ultimate on so many heroes, and it's level 2, and it does quite a large sum of damage, especially to like the Earthshaker. Ancient Apparition wasn't there, but he's been quietly farming away up top and survives on top of it. But worse for mYinsanity, even though they get 2 pickups, is that Mind Control's surviving. If they killed him off, that would be huge for them. He's currently on a Beyond Godlike spree, but he has 3,600 gold on top of his Yule Scepter Blink. Honestly, I don't think it matters what Mind Control builds this game. He's going to be able to make anything work.
And Ancient Apparition also closing in on that Aghanim Scepter slowly but surely with the Hand of Midas that he built, I think like 4 or 5 minutes ago at least. There was just so much action going on that we didn't even get to discuss it properly. But Hand of Midas, I mean, only support not bad. You need levels on Ancient Apparition, you want that higher level Ice Blast, plus it's kind of like guaranteed, either guaranteed wards or just guaranteed Aghanim Scepter at some point in time. So not a bad item to go for if you can get it early enough. There is a smoke, Freeman smoke from mYinsanity. They want to go for Mind Control as Mind Control. He might get baited. Yule Scepter up first. Ice Blast will come in, but he's not going to get the kill silenced up. And well, that was an epic bait. Elder Titan gets 824 gold for ending the Beyond Godlike streak.
Even beyond the 824, I'm interested to see what the AoE gold bounty is going to be for that Necrophos as soon as we get the fight recap. Everybody that was involved in that got 299, so it's a gold swing of over 1,000 for the Elder Titan. That's going to be enough to complete up his Force Staff or Yule Scepter, whatever he wants with that Staff of Wizardry. That's a huge pickup for them. Clockwork Hookshot, he isolated this poor Elder Titan now, and with the battery cell, they should be able to get this kill, and Blade Mail is going to mean that nobody else can touch him. Clockwork makes a clean TP back towards his base.
So they get some, mYinsanity, they get a nice kill, but they lose one in return straight after. Still worth it. I mean, Necrophos, he was 11, 1, and 6 before this. But he's still extremely farmed. Ice Blasts are flying around. I think they flew over Hatawa, maybe even revealing them. Mitch is just going to get hit and nothing else. He still has the Haunt as well if he wants to join the fight top. Has Seroji. Oh man, he has enough gold for the Blink Dagger now on the Earthshaker. Plus, he has a level 2 Echo Slam as well.
Yeah, and that's incredibly fast farm for an Earthshaker. Usually this time you're struggling.
Yeah, that's a 5 position Earthshaker as well.
Yeah, and he's just been casually picking that up just with the assist gold that he's been getting. Involved in 12 kills and has only died twice. It's going to be a completed Aghanim Scepter for Mind Control as that just one-shot bot and delivered to himself on the courier. Necrophos is now going to be effectively deleting them from the map, and honestly, Spectre doesn't matter at this point in the game.
Oh, Milan gets caught by Shellopi, just chased down. Static Link is there. Oh, the Ice Blast will connect on 2 as well. The hookshot unfortunately misses. Could have been easy 2 kills, or still might. They pop the Poison Nova. Mind Control goes in with the Reaper Scythe. No buyback for Venomancer. 70 seconds. That plus 30 seconds, it just looks ridiculous every single time somebody dies.
It really does. Venomancer is down on the deck, and this is going to mean Tier 2 Tower is going to be easily taken by Aftershock with no real contest and Skywrath. 16 HP was it from the Clockwork Flare, just barely escaping.
God damn that. They just can't get any breaks. Aftershock, they are literally tripling the kill score as Ancient Operation gonna lose his life top lane. Mitch came in, together with Chrisine, so they get the 1 kill, but he finished up the Aghanim Scepter with 4, purchased all the parts of it, and they're gonna lose it Tier 2. So at least they get something done, and if you're mYinsanity, you're gonna just hold on to whatever you can take. But that's also gonna be Aghanim Scepter for Shellopi in 120 gold, and they're just going to backdoor this tower, possibly. Or are they gonna go for kills? Rockefrel lands on the Mitch. He's trying to escape. Mind Control is there as well, but doesn't have the ultimate, doesn't even need it, I think, and yeah, Mitch just can't outrun them.
You really can't, and this Spectre is saving up for a Relic. Every death is so harmful for the Spectre and the Spectre's farm, and I don't think there's another item that they can go for behind the tower. Mind Control really wants blood, but lucky enough for Aftershock, nobody's there. We do have that Yule Scepter on the Elder Titan, but it's not going to immediately turn this game, and honestly, I'm not sure there's any item, just one item that would be picked up by mYinsanity that would do it. Radiance on Spectre is a good start, Aghanim Scepter on Venomancer, another good item, but for every big item that they complete, Aftershock are completing too. We have Ancient Apparition now with his completed Aghanim Scepter as he respawns, and Necrophos is back up to another 1200 gold. He can go for whatever the heck he wants to go for.
Their team could still use a pipe to be honest against the Venomancer, just so that if they win a fight... Oh! Fisher block onto Lizard. Do they keep on going? Do they want to blink in aggressively? They're baiting out some TPs. Hits Chrisine, pops the Exorcism as well. Has to be careful though. Yule Scepter already used by him. Mind Control. Now he comes in. Reaper Scythe. No, his silence. Oh, he got it off anyway. Never mind me. So, oh! Blink, Echo Slam, Lizard. He's gonna go down. Mitch comes in just to get Fishered up. Stunned up, and he has to escape immediately as he arrived into the fight. They did kill off the Razor, so that's a good sign, but that was a fight without the Ice Blast even.
Yeah, and now with a couple more Death Pulses, they'll be able to sustain themselves. I expect Zeroji to be bottled up by Necrophos, but now with the Spectral Dagger onto Zeroji, they're going to put a little bit more damage onto him, but Spectre can't chase that. That's not a place you can be, Mitch. And now tagged by the Fissure, Chilling Touch onto 2. Mind Control should be able to blink after this, if nothing else. He's going to try, but the Yule Scepter from Elder Titan is going to save the Spectre, but Mind Control, he knows no such word as stop, and is going to go behind the Tier 2 tower, blink to disjoint that concussive shot, and then back to the rest of his teammates. Tier 2 tower up top is going to fall slowly but surely, but Aftershock still finding the map control advantage. Spectre almost has enough gold for that Relic, but it's 25 minutes in. I think it's a necessity that Spectre goes for the Radiance, but it's not ideal. You'd really want to have your Mantis Style or some big item on top of Radiance at this point.
You most certainly would. It's as long as they keep holding on to the high ground, I guess it's going to be fine. But it's not going to be too easy as Aftershock. They can easily go for Roshan as well. There's an Ice Blast flying top, Fisher onto Hatawa. Ice Blast enough. Well, itself would have been enough already, I think, with the Aghanim's buff. But they also get the Reaper Scythe. And just that mana regeneration, he had 118 mana per second for Necrophos for a little while with the Sadist. God damn, you just cannot allow Necrophos to get kills in the fights because that regeneration is just so sick.
It really is. And Necrophos is going to get kills, at the very least one. If you look at the HP pools of all of the heroes on mYinsanity, you can effectively cut that in half with the Reaper's Scythe. And with Aghanim Scepter, a little bit more than that, to be honest. You're looking at the Spectre with effectively like 500 HP, Venomancer with like 600 to 700. If any one of these heroes are tagged with the Reaper Scythe, it's all but over. Death Prophet, 1400 HP looks pretty good for this point in the game, but not when you're dealing with the Necro. Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to him going for a refresher this game. He doesn't have the mana really to sustain it unless he gets a kill with the first one to get that Sadist charge. But yeah, just being able to completely delete them from this game. Maybe Bloodstone, I don't think it matters. Necrophos can build whatever the heck he wants.
Well, he most certainly can. I wouldn't be opposed to a Bloodstone into Refresher Orb, something like that. Just like you mentioned, he just would lack the mana, I think, if he went for straight up Refresher Orb. He could go for something like a Shivas as well, just to make sure that Exorcism doesn't kill you. Although, maybe just some kind of raw survivability would be a little bit better. Just so that the Venomancer ultimate wouldn't kill you. Ice Blast flying top lane, I think it's a little bit too late, or is it? If he hookshots right now... Oh, the Ice Blast somehow connected as well. The animation looked like it's off, but he's going to get the kill. Battery Assault flying, and down he goes.
Yeah, even without the Battery Assault, it's an Aghanim Scepter level 2 ultimate from the Ancient Apparition, and now they might find a little bit more. Fissure fishing for Milan will catch him. That's a Reaper Scythe. Goodbye, Elder Titan, and he's down for 76.
Oh man, this... Mind Control, he's been just so aggressive. Of course, now he has the items to back it up as well. But he went for Power Threads into Blink straight away. Okay, he had the bottle as well, but even then he just was blinking in left and right, going for the kills, just toying around with mYinsanity. And they're already trying to break high ground with the Aghanims on Chelopi. They don't have an Aghanims, but they don't even care, it looks like.
Yeah, what does it actually matter? Mystic Flare onto Jalopy, he's able to tank through that. It's a Mystic Flare that's only level 1 from the Scarlet Mage, and they'll mech, they'll heal him up, and he's going to be in fighting shape sooner rather than later. Fissures are going to be constant threat, and Mitch eats a Plasma Field. That damage is just going to stick. He might be forced back to base before they actually jump in, and the difference for Aftershock is that they have constant sustain with the Death Pulses coming out from Mind Control.
I still think they should go for a pipe on anybody, especially now that the Radiance is also going to be finished. Radiance plus an Aghanim Scepter Poison Nova at some point. You're going to tick extremely low, if not just die completely from that already. Earthshaker though, he's going for an Armlet. So he wants to go into that right-clicking business as well. And I mean, I guess Mind Control might be like the best hero to even build a pipe for them potentially. Maybe Kefka, but Clockwork. The funniest thing is that he's not even being with the team. I guess he's just trying to set up things with Ice Blast, and Ice Blast is flying for Mitch. If they get the kill now, he's only 100 gold short. Oh my god, Ice Blast flies in. There's the hookshot as well. No, Mitch, no, you cannot die right now. Escaping the cogs, but he's gone. Yeah, he's gonna go down.
Yeah, Mitch is gonna, just die. There's nothing they can do about that, and now Spectre Radiance, forget about it. It's not gonna come up before 30 minutes, let alone before the end of this game. I think at this point, Necrophos might as well just build a Radiance of his own. I don't think it matters. Like, he could get extra tank. They have the Aghanim Scepter on Venomancer, which is nice, but it's not enough to kill them fast enough. They need to instantly burst everybody down, or else Necrophos is just going to be able to put too much damage on the enemy team with that Heartstopper Aura. If you look at how long that Venomancer ultimate's going to last, the duration is very significant, with 15 seconds, but in that 15 seconds, everybody's lost 30% of their HP with Necrophos' passive alone, not to mention the other heroes doing damage. It's just getting nigh unwinnable. Right now they're going to get a double life onto Necrophos, and I mean, even if you bought a Divine Rapier, I don't think that loses the game for Aftershock. It would be so hard for mYinsanity to get their hands onto it. 4,000 gold, he can build whatever.
That's true enough, to be honest, at the moment. It's sad for mYinsanity, but it's true at the same time. And Roshan, not the fastest ones, but they get it down. Aegis onto Necrophos, Chelopi. He's gonna finish up his BKB in about 200 gold as well on the Razor. So he doesn't even need the extra survivability. Ice Blast is flying, probably just to harass, lands on Mitch, but oh, never mind, the hookshot lands as well. Oh god, poor Spectre, once again 100 gold short, and he dies almost at the same time. Now Hatoa gets pushed back, goes for the... Never mind, he gets reapered, so yeah. Just 2 heroes down. This Spectre, my god, he's just so close. He wants to get like 2 extra creeps, but gets picked off at the right time by Aftershock.
Okay, so Earthshaker now has his armlet, and although it's generally left for core Earthshakers, this Earthshaker is actually pretty ridiculously farmed for the position he's in. He has about the same net worth as the Spectre. Zoroji, with that enchant totem hit, with 400% bonus damage on top of the armlet, that's going to be an extra, excuse me, 100 damage per hit, and that's already on top of the close to 400 damage that his enchant totem smacks are going to be able to do. And if you combo it right, you can get 2 of those off. That's 800 physical burst. Onto somebody like Skywrath Mage, he only has 1 armor. He's going to fall just straight up to that.
It's a sad life. If you're really anybody on mYinsanity, they don't have like any heroes. Venomancer probably the most durable. But if you get hit by an Ice Blast, there's not going to be a mech. And even if you do get a mech, I just don't see it having a huge impact as mind control. He's angling for something. At least there's a sentry by mYinsanity down, making sure that Aftershock they don't have easy high ground vision. With the high ground vision, otherwise it would be just Ice Blast into Blink Necrophos just going berserk. But they're trying to counter push with just Astral Spirit, Echo Stomp, and really anything they can use.
It's working decently for them, but as soon as Aftershock kill one of the heroes in mYinsanity, pushing high ground's that much easier, and Jalopi's had enough of this. Pops the ultimate, pops nothing else, and we'll drop that tier 3 tower to less than 300 HP, and it's going to drop before too long. Hadouba just eats a Plasma Field, a Rocket Barrage, and he's almost dead. Hookshot lands onto 4! Ancient Persian Ice Blast doesn't land on anything, but there's your Echo Slam onto everybody as well. Scythe onto the Spectre, and they're all dead except for the Death Prophet, and she might be soon to follow. Grazine trying to clean up any kills that she can. The Flare lands. She needs to get out of there. My goodness, that hook shot, they were so clumped, and Aftershock were ready for it. That's your first lane of barracks going their way. Earthshaker is going to armlet toggle down. He's sitting on less than any HP, but Kefka kills off the TP. TP's back to the base.
The Death Prophet just killed himself with a Crypt Swarm into a Blade Mail. Oh god, that hookshot. I don't believe I've ever seen people clump up so much for a hookshot. Ice Blast, a little bit off target. I thought like at least 2 of them, half of them are going to get hit, but sometimes the animation of it or the circle of it isn't exactly how it hits. And well, they get another kill onto Skywrath Mage this time around. Doesn't really matter at this point. That one fight, the one hookshot with the Echo Slam to follow, just perfectly done from Aftershock. They definitely deserve this game win. Just the way they drafted, they just executed the draft perfectly.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say. mYinsanity can do nothing, and Spectre's not even going to complete the Radiance before this game is over. I'm actually pretty surprised that mYinsanity aren't calling GG right now, but Aftershock will be able to push down mid soon enough anyway. Earthshaker's a little low, but that doesn't matter. He'll be healed up by his allies. It's pretty much done. That's your second set of melee barracks going the way of Aftershock, and effectively 2 full lanes. There's a tier 2 tower up top, so they can't make it megas, but I don't know. Aftershock, I don't see a way that they can lose this game. Necrophos hasn't even bought an item with his 7,000 gold, and he doesn't have to.
Spectre, I mean, he was like close to the Radiance, like 100 gold away from the recipe, what, 29 minutes in? It's 5 minutes later, he still does not have that recipe, and Mitch, another hookshot Ice Blast combination, he's gonna go down again, so even farther from that Radiance recipe. And there's 7,000 gold on the Necrophos. I really don't understand why mYinsanity keep on dragging this along, to be honest, either. At least we're still like kind of in schedule anyway, if they finish in the next couple of minutes, so it's not that bad. But another hookshot, what? He's going in so deep, gonna get Milan with the Blade Mail, maybe Yulceptor's buying some time, but the better result will be enough anyway. He's gonna get slowed down now, silent stop as well, but he gets the 4-step out. Hookshot will be there, can he get to the creeps? Yes he can, so he just hookshotted more or less into 3 heroes and just makes it out and doesn't even drop below half HP.
Yeah, mind control, I think the idea here is he wants to see how... Oh, there we go. He's gonna one-shot buy a Dagon 5.
Well, why the hell not at this point, to be honest? It's just, you can get solo kills on anybody. You can just kill them twice over with your combination, to be honest, if they had the double life. If they had the cheese to pop in between, you would still have enough.
Okay, so that's the first time ever that I've seen somebody just casually buy a Dagon 5. You can't actually do that in one go unless you click manually through it, because there's too many items to hold inside your stash, so everything else for the Null Talisman got dropped onto the ground. Doesn't matter. Mind Control now can kill anybody on mYinsanity. Okay, so that Dagon Blast is going to get dangerously close to almost killing the Skywrath Mage. If he gets a Death Pulse on top of it, he's gone. Dagon Blast into Scythe kills everybody.
Oh God. Cuisine has PKB. Ice Blast is flying though. Never mind, Ice Blast is going even further. Mitch, is he on the... Oh, he just left the edge of it. So he does survive, although just a single Reaper Scythe would have been enough at that point. He uses the mech, but he's at half HP, so Reaper Scythe is just going to be enough at this point. But there's the hookshot as well. They're going to get another kill. Mind Control comes in with the Reaper Scythe, although Mitch was dead anyway. Just wants to make sure there's no buyback, and that's GG called now. And he didn't get to finish his Radiance. My God, man, just... Spectre... It's too risky of a hero. You need to be able to just safeguard him on the lane.
Pretty much sums it up. There's still chances, or a chance that mYinsanity will be able to come back. We saw in the PR series, game 1 was a train wreck, and they were able to come back. So let's see if they're going to be able to do it in the second series of the day.
Yeah, so Aftershock, like I said, she's looking damn strong at the moment. Hopefully mYinsanity can tie it up, just like against Power Rangers. They got demolished in game number 1, but in game number 2 looked way stronger. So maybe go for a slightly different draft. Maybe go for something that they're more comfortable with. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us, as well as the tournament as a whole. You've been seeing the sponsors just as a slideshow kind of thing on the bottom side anyway. And also, if you have money to spare, be sure to go purchase the ticket for this tournament as well. It also has an awesome meepo set with it, so it's only $5, nothing much, but we have a crap ton of best of threes to come in the playoffs as well. Double elimination with 16 teams, all best of threes. But guys, we're heading into game number 2 now, so hope to see you there.